wheel got stuck in the wall. State troopers told us they took someone into custody in connection with this, but tonight they have not given us any more information about that person. This happened this morning on Carriage Crossing Way, just off State Route 41 in Troy. A man who claims he owns the Dodge Charger called 911.
I was doing DoorDash, and someone stole my Charger.
You were doing DoorDash, and then what?
Someone stole my Charger.
Other callers told dispatchers at least one person jumped out of the vehicle and ran. The homeowner was too busy cleaning up to talk about damage with us. And News Center 7 keeps an unofficial count of cars hitting buildings in our area. Since January, there have been at least 60 crashes. That is almost 3 per week.
A couple told News Center 7 dogs attacked them twice in a week. Carl Kegley told us he was outside his house in Dayton with his dog Bailey when stray dogs attacked. Just days after that attack, Linda Kegley said a man was with his dog but not on the leash, and the dog went after Bailey and her as well.
She's really traumatized. She's not the same.
The Montgomery County Animal Resource Center told News Center 7 expect to see more strays out with warmer weather, and keep in mind shelters are full. This week, the Ohio EPA is going to be cleaning up hundreds of tires, part of a big fire in Dayton that we covered last month. This was on Leonard Street. People miles away could see the smoke. Flames and fire destroyed some nearby garages. The EPA said Ohioans scrap more than 12 million tires a year. People who illegally dump tires could face a $10,000 fine and up to 2 years in prison.
Cases of whooping cough are on the rise in the U.S. News Center 7 reported Friday Ohio has more than 300 cases this year. Now, this map is from the CDC, and you can see Ohio is among the top 5 states with the most cases. Last year, Ohio had 800 cases. And that was more than any other state. Doctors say young children are most at risk. The CDC blames the spike on a delay in vaccinations during the pandemic.
Storm Center 7 Chief Meteorologist Austin Chaney joins us. Gabrielle, glad to have you back. You were out of town last week. It was very, very warm weather, and you come back and you almost need a jacket.
It almost makes me cry.
I wouldn't blame you.
I know. I was in Mexico, and it was very warm.
Yeah.
But here, not so much.
And temperatures are always relative, so this is a little shock to the system. We get to next week, that's going to be a shock to the system, I think, for all of us.
I mean, we need to lock that door when it comes to this.
We will. We're going to have to get iced down when we get to next Monday. The heat is going to get real. Tomorrow morning, you may want that jacket. Temperatures are going to be down there in the upper 40s as we begin the day. But into the afternoon, the warming trend begins. Tomorrow's still a comfortable day. Shorts and T-shirt weather at mid-70s. But then, what do you see what I have to show you coming up in the 7-day forecast? Big picture view tonight, we have high pressure off to our west. The clockwise winds around it, drawing in that cooler air from Canada. So tonight, that sends us down to low temperatures well into the 40s. Let's break down the forecast. Clear skies now over downtown Dayton after the clouds from earlier today have cleared out. So it's all about the cool weather tonight. Here we are out the door tomorrow morning, upper 40s, lower 50s. I think ultimately in Dayton, we get down to 48 degrees overnight. Not a record. The record low is 40, but it's still about 10 to 14 degrees below average depending on your location. After that, we start to warm it up. There's plenty of sunshine in our Tuesday forecast. So by midday, we're feeling good. About 69 degrees there. High temperatures tomorrow should top out in the mid-70s before we start to drop things off again into tomorrow night. If you need to mow the grass, I think by far the best times to do it over the next 3 days, tomorrow morning and Wednesday morning when it's cool. Once you get to Thursday, you certainly can. It's dry, but the heat really starts to crank up by then. Look at our temperature trend over the next 5 days. Tomorrow, by far, is the most comfortable. 76 degrees, low humidity. It'll be nice. The warming trend begins Wednesday. We'll start to feel the heat as we're up to 83 degrees, but the mugginess really isn't that bad quite yet. But then the heat and mugginess build right on through the weekend. We're at 88 degrees come Saturday, about 7 or so degrees above normal for this time of year. But the heat doesn't stop building when we get to Saturday. Sunday, 92 degrees. I've now bumped us up an extra degree on Sunday. And by then, we have that mugginess. So a heat index of 93 degrees. And then we just go warmer into next week. And all the while, there's barely any rain in this forecast. Here's Futurecast from mid to late week. And you see not many opportunities for showers to pop up and cool us off. Maybe a 20% or so chance on Friday. But that's it. Dry into the weekend. And then into next week, that heat just continues to build. Look at our Storm Center 7-day forecast. We go from 48 degrees as a low temperature tonight to 94 degrees as a high temperature next Monday. You see the slow climb through the 80s to get to those low 90s. But once they're here on Father's Day and then Monday, they look to stay for several days. And that heat index will be climbing as well. I think next Monday afternoon we could feel as warm as 101 at times.
All of a sudden, oven doors explode.
All of a sudden, there was a loud pop.
And along with how dangerous this can be, the bigger concerns on how to deal with it.